Now, 95.9 FM WATD presents Friends with Benefits, exploring relationships, social issues, and life stories. Be a part of the show at 781-837-4900. Friends with Benefits with your host, Brian Stratton.
Yes, 95.9 WATD, Friends with Benefits here on a Wednesday night. I'd like to introduce the round table tonight. We got our good friend Paul Kearney back in the fold. Hey. Paul, what's going on, man?
Hey, good to be back.
It's great to see you. I know you've had a busy summer with Atlantis Sports Clubs and all the activities with the gym, but it's good to have you back and contributing again.
Yes. I tell you, a lot of people have been working out this summer too to keep healthy. That's a good sign.
Well, they want to keep up those beach bodies.
That's right, that beach body.
That's right. And speaking of beach bodies, we got Hugh Bartendaller.
Hey, how are you doing?
What's going on with you, buddy?
Not too much. I spent the past couple of days actually building a chicken coop.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And then, of course, people's first question is, are you going to get chickens? No, I was going to make it into a bowling alley.
Yeah, okay.
It's ridiculous, you know?
Well, how's the Shakeology going? I heard you're on day one.
Yeah.
You started? Yeah.
I haven't lost a single pound the entire summer, actually, but I'm looking great, as usual.
Well, try to get in the sun as much as you can.
All right.
We are a coastline community.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
right.
So it's very easy to hit there. I want to actually...
I don't have a GPS, though, you know. So,
yeah, and
coastline.
As I know, believe me.
Take a left at the water.
I want to actually kind of go back to a couple of shows. We've had some dynamite super celebrity guests on the last couple of weeks. We had Daryl Hall of the famous band Hall & Oates. We had Siobhan Magnus, season 9 of American Idol. She was a finalist. She was on last week with Daryl Hall, which was one of our largest listened to shows ever. I think it was. I got so many Facebook messages, so many emails about that, so many comments. And the week before that, we had the legendary songwriter and lead singer of the band Chicago, a guy I get up there and sing with every once in a while. His name was Robert Lamb.
You know, I love that. What's that show that Daryl Hall does?
I'm not really sure. Oh, you mean Live at Daryl's House?
At Daryl's House, yeah, that's a great program. I love that show. I'd like to do that at my house, actually, but I don't know if anybody would watch if I did it at my house.
You could do an open mic jam.
Not the same.
For the community of the South Shore.
Right.
But so Robert Lamb was on, and amazingly, and Paul's been pushing for this for ages for our show, is to kind of get some sort of archive system. We've figured out a way to get our show onto YouTube. So if you are a loyal listener of Friends with Benefits, which, by the way, we can't really track how many listeners there are. Generally, I always say it can be between 5,000 and 20,000. And anywhere in between.
It's a very general number.
It is a very general number. And hopefully this show isn't, on the smaller side of that tonight. But ultimately, the Daryl Hall show last week and the Robert Lamb of the Chicago show 2 weeks ago went through the roof. So it really motivated us and Will Perry, who works in the station, to put together a YouTube channel for Friends with Benefits. So now what we have FWB Brian Stratton when you get on the YouTube, and there'll be a whole channel of past shows.
Wow.
And we're working on that, Paul. We have
That's
a couple.
Great.
We have the Daryl Hall show on now, which now after the first day already had 150 views of that one program.
Wow.
After the first 24 hours, which goes to show that people all around the country now are engaging and listening to Friends with Benefits. Robert Lamb after the first day had 75 views. That's just one day. With no promotion or anything. So I think that's the wave of the future for us. If you missed the show, go to FWB-Brian Stratton. Okay, FWB being Friends with Benefits, an abbreviation. FWB-Brian Stratton on YouTube, and you can archive some.
And you're going to put all the past shows on? Or
That's my intention.
Yes.
And Paul, there's almost... Well, this year,
100 shows.
Probably
right?
75 to 100 shows.
Right, wow.
That's a lot of shows. So I think what I'll do is I'll try to get as many as I can on there, at least 50.
Yeah.
Because there are some throwaways. They're not all great shows.
Yeah,
some of them sleepwalking. Some of them,
I enjoy every one of them.
I think they are pretty good. But, the best of the best, so people don't get too confused looking down YouTube. It's just a new wave of communication now, this YouTube thing. I mean, last night I went on YouTube and 2.5 hours later it was time for bed. Yeah. It just goes to show you how much time you can spend. I had
And
Hugh,
that was 7:30.
yeah, exactly. Now, Hugh, you're on it too all the time, aren't you?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's
all the
better
time.
than regular television.
That's how I figured out how to make a chicken coop. Come on.
Really, that's great. Hey, by the way, a lot of people are doing that now with the chickens and having their own organic chickens.
Organic chicken farms.
Yeah, I don't have the chickens yet. In fact, the chicken coop that I built, I did it by scratch, no pun intended, and it actually looks like the Little House on the Prairie a little bit, which
Awesome.
I'm proud of.
Awesome.
So I just took sort of an inspiration from YouTube, but I figure this way I'm either going to get eggs or chicken, because if the chickens don't lay eggs, then hey, the heck with them, right?
Well, this is good. We're talking about YouTube, and Kevin Chase he's behind the glass today, engineering the show. Say hello to everybody, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
It's so good to see you again, and thanks for being here with us.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun. It's a blast to fill in and do this stuff. And actually, until Hugh just said it looked like the house on the prairie, I thought you meant you build him like a little car.
That's
like
true.
convertible. Yeah.
Yes.
Little deuce coupe kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Chickens just hot rodding around the neighborhood, raising hell.
The beautiful thing about in today's society, which a lot of the technology has really driven us into, like Albert Einstein had a great quote about technology and about human behavior, and I don't remember it, but I'll tell you the Reader's Digest version.
He said they're very forgetful.
He said no. He basically said when technology overtakes human interaction, then the world will cease as we know it. Which, if you think about it, you don't get much eye contact anymore from people. They always got their face in their, we're all guilty of it. Their nose in their cell phone, texting, looking online, whatever.
I don't have a GPS, Brian.
You don't. And Hugh was supposed to meet me last week. This is why we keep bringing that up, and he stiffed me. Just came out of,
It's dark. I went to Carver about 4 times. I'm in the woods.
Carver's a fine place, and that's where you get the chicken coop idea when you were down there. But hey, look at we got Kevin Chase is online right now looking at the Friends with
We're up
Benefits.
to 168 right now.
Okay, that's good. And that's just, like I said, in a couple of days. So
great.
it goes to show you how these things can go viral now, just out of our little section of Massachusetts, the North Shore, Rhode Island. This thing is going to go across the country.
And all you have to do is search Darrell Hall Friends with Benefits, too. You don't have to remember the website
Really?
specifically. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it
that's
actually,
killer.
if you go on the right website, it actually starts filling in as you're typing.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're ready. They know you're there.
And that's a big thing for us, and Paul's been pushing for that for ages. It took Darrell Hall to get us.
Well, that's what's great. I mean, we have these shows, and some of my friends always say, "Well, I missed it. I really wanted to hear it. I heard it was a great show." And now we can say, "Hey, go to the show and
So
you
easy.
can, and listen to it on your own time."
Well, the wonderful thing, too, like we were talking about with YouTube, is now that YouTube has not only been an educational thing where you can watch, I Love Lucy from 1959, some episode or whatever, or, the Beatles come off the plane in 63, or even a video that you missed on Palladium or a network. You can always just type it in YouTube, and it's right there for you.
Darrell Hall's living room.
Live from Darrell's house is a beautiful example. He has all these great archive shows. But, YouTube actually has turned into a tutorial thing, too, where anytime I need to figure out how to do something, I just type it right in.
Like build a chicken coop.
Build a chicken coop.
Well, that's where technology has really helped us, I guess, as a society. I mean, there is some downside to it where people don't talk to you anymore, but there is some kind of. With my children, watching them just go and get an answer for something in 2 seconds is fantastic, and for them to explore on that, I think, is great. However, the bad side of it would be, the interaction thing, and where people are not even talking to each other anymore unless they're texting in the same room. And I guess that's got to do with society, and we have to say that sometimes you just got to shut the thing off.
I tried to interact when I built the chicken coop. I actually went to a place and looked at chicken coops, and they were about $900 built. And then I thought, I got to go for the non-interaction.
That's right. You have to go by yourself in the backyard, right next to your bunker.
Chickens are not picky about where they live. They're going to think this place is the Taj Mahal.
They certainly didn't expect a $900 coop.
No, why should they?
No.
Actually, the coop is I might actually put a TV out there. It's pretty nice.
We'll put it
I
on
think I
YouTube.
could fit one share.
We'll put a picture on YouTube.
Yeah.
But then
All
you
right.
get some lazy. Then you're gonna
Rent
get
it
some
out.
lazy chickens that want to sit around and watch TV all day. Then
No, the TV's for me.
Oh,
I mean, I
okay.
could go out there. It's,
I can see that. Chickens get fat watching TV.
Yeah,
They do.
exactly.
They just sit around laying eggs. You're
That's
golden.
it.
That's the
it.
point.
And you could advertise them as free-range chickens because they're free to go.
That's right.
But they're just watching TV, so you
Right.
really don't have to
Hey,
worry
you
about
chickens don't pay rent here. Beat it.
I have to ask Kevin Chase something because he is the main producer at WATD, which he works on commercials. He does all that technical stuff with Pro Tools and what is that program?
I prefer
Cool Edit.
Well, Adobe Audition, which is the later version of Cool Edit.
Okay.
Adobe bought out Cool Edit, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all. It's Greek to a lot of people. I mean, really,
sure.
even musicians and whatever. I mean, even Hugh, who plays a little guitar, probably doesn't know all that stuff.
Thanks to YouTube.
Yeah, thank you. But Kevin, have you ever referenced YouTube for anything when you get stuck on anything?
Well, not with Adobe Audition. I have looked things up online.
Yes.
Because I know there's this really dumb little thing. There are some little knobs that hide on the screen, all the control panels and everything, and I just couldn't find them on the one in this studio.
Sure.
And it was driving me nuts. I'm looking through all the settings and everything. It's nowhere to be found. And then, actually, no, it wasn't a video. I look up. I finally figure out what the name for the knobs are. Because, you just know where they are. You don't know what they're called. And then finally someone said, oh, yeah, you just kind of, there's this one little screen that you can kind of just drag to the left about an inch, and then they appear.
And you found that out just by Googling that.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of this Google and YouTube is it's the most basic question. I got stuck on Facebook once about trying to get something accomplished, which happens quite regularly with me because I'm not, that side of the brain is not, flourishing in my life for some reason. And Googling it gave me all the answers I needed, and it was really a step-by-step kind of very
there's so
dummied
many
down
sites like how-to sites and hacking sites, they like to call them.
Yes.
They can turn like a tin into like a flash bulb or something. I don't know, just random things like that.
The only thing that scares me about this whole thing is the fact that you don't know what to believe on there, and people are starting to believe anything the internet says, and that's the thing that we have to really smarten up as a society, because I think that people aren't thinking for themselves anymore. They're thinking, oh, I saw it on the internet, and if you tell somebody anything,
someone's going to do it,
and it's not true, they still think after you tell them it's not true. 10% of people still think it's true.
Oh yeah.
So that's why, like, politically speaking, this whole thing about where now that companies can, the 2010 ruling where companies can come in and now give candidates as much money as they want is really detrimental to our society, because they can really go into a state like Kentucky and really influence some people to vote the way they want.
Oh, sure.
And if Kentucky still gets 2 senators no matter what, even if they're the dumbest state on the planet, and that to me is something that it frightens me, because if you could spend enough money with the drug companies and especially children and the parents are just asleep to go to McDonald's and get themselves a toy just because they want to get the kid a toy. I mean, you're going into a place where, A, they treat the animals terrible. So if you're an animal lover, you can't eat at McDonald's. If you're really, truly an animal lover, you can't eat there.
Of course, the animals are already dead.
Well, I mean, that's true, but you're also giving...
So what do we do with the dead meat?
Yeah, well, you can finish up that because it's
we'll
God
finish.
made
This
it.
is the Last Supper.
The last supper.
The last meat supper.
But the point is that what you don't understand is if you go to McDonald's and you give them money, what you're saying is it's okay.
It's okay to do what they do.
It's okay to do it. I'm just stupid and ignorant, and I'm going to give my kid a toy because I'm a dope. And that's really what we're becoming as a society, especially men out there. And I'm speaking as a man. It's embarrassing for me to see some of these guys give their kids hot dogs without even knowing what the heck is in it.
Sure.
And taking time to not even look into what you're feeding your children, only because you're just so desensitized to what's good food and what isn't. Because your job as a father is to try to influence your children on how to have good nutritional and some good backup. But if they're watching the TV and it's or the internet, and they're trying to get to your children to try to make you look stupid, that's where I got a problem with. What do you think, Brian? I
totally agree with you, Paul, especially when, I don't know about, banning meat from society, but,
I'm not saying ban meat. I'm just saying that you just got to make a conscious decision that when you pull up, and I'm telling all the listeners right now, when you pull up to McDonald's, that cow has not been treated well. If you want to hear it or not, the chicken, if you want to call it a chicken, because KFC can't even call themselves Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore because it isn't chicken. It's
What is
so it's basically
Crow? Kentucky Fried Crow?
If they could call it that, they would. But you just got to know either you're buying into it or not. You're saying that it's okay by giving your dollars there, because what's going to drive society? If you saw Jackie Robinson 42, by the way, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Okay. What drove him to change society wasn't the fact that equality. He got the owners on board because they thought that they could pick up more people from watching the baseball game.
Oh yeah, bottom line. Yeah.
Bottom line is they brought in the dollar. So what I'm saying is that we could make McDonald's changed. It doesn't matter. They could have a burger place on every corner. That's not the problem. The problem is that when you give them your money, you're saying it's okay to abuse animals, to give people $7.25 an hour, and you think that's okay. That's what you're saying. So anybody that's in a drive-through in McDonald's right now, you're okay in that, because there's only one way to change society as far as that goes, and that's through the pocketbook. That's when people will listen, because if you don't give them money, guess what? They're out of business. They're going to change the way they are. But this whole thing about, we're going to change them, and you can't really do it unless it's through the dollar. That's all I
think you're right about that, and ultimately, getting back to the initial premise of people kind of believing everything they hear. In a way, I think in this society, especially more than ever, they don't investigate enough.
No, right. Does the McDonald's commercial say where the food comes from? Never. No. They're just telling you that win this, here, scratch this and you can win $1 million. And it shows 3 teenage kids driving along. I won $1 million. Oh, really? I won this. You didn't win anything.
So what about the cultural experience of, say, like you mentioned, hot dogs, but say you're at Fenway Park and you don't generally want to eat hot dogs because they're admittedly not good for you, but Fenway Park and hot dogs, that's part of the cultural experience.
But see, that's the problem.
It's like having popcorn in a movie. You got to get the big barrel of popcorn, especially if they have refills, so you can bring it home, bring it back the next time, pretend you already had popcorn, come back, get your free popcorn.
Well, yeah,
that is a gimmick.
Which they use to fatten cows, by the way.
Well, exactly. That's another
Paul
issue.
looks like he was dope slapped
Maybe
after
chickens.
that.
No. I only say that because really, that's tradition. Who made that tradition? To eat something.
I saw it in 42.
To eat
the
something.
Jackie Robinson story.
And back then, the hot dogs were probably decent. Now they're fillers. Do you really want to know what's in a hot dog?
No.
You really want to know?
But it's delicious.
It's delicious because that's exactly what it is.
It's delicious.
You could eat crap. I could serve you crap and tell you it's good, like they do.
Okay.
I mean, hot dog's the worst part of the meat, and they tell you it tastes good if you throw a little mustard on it.
Well, now
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
now,
Kevin.
do you appreciate the difference, though, between having the occasional hot dog? I mean, you make it sound like people, and some people do, they're just constantly shoveling the stuff in their mouth. But what if it is the occasional treat? I only have enough money to go to Fenway once, twice a year, so we have the one hot dog.
Well, I mean, that's fine, but the point is that why would you eat it if I tell you what's in it? And number one, the first thing, and people should know this, the number one choking thing for a child is a hot dog and hard candy.
Crazy.
Okay, number one. Number two is you're also buying into it. Every time you put your money or a dollar into it, you're saying that it's okay. To eat the worst part of I don't get it. That's
let me make the story even more gross with hot dogs, is that I knew a guy who used to work at Fenway Park, and they'd carry around those bins of hot dogs steaming, and he said on those hot summer days, not only are they the hot dogs, he said, which are terrible, but they're sweating like pigs into the hot dog water. So you're actually getting a hot dog boiling.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, can I give my $5 to that? No, it's true.
I think they're about $6.50
I
now.
know.
Too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
$6.50 for what?
But as Brian says, they are delicious.
They are delicious, and the
they're
socks
not delicious.
and they're in first place. And you've had a couple of beers, and those hot dogs look like from filet mignon after a couple of those Fenway brews.
Really, that's probably why I haven't gone to a game.
And they're more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, $6.50 to eat.
All right, let's. You know what? The hot dog thing's really intriguing, but
no, but you just made the point, though. You both made.
What
the
about
point.
Hebrew National? Do you like those hot dogs?
I don't like any hot dogs.
You know what? Okay,
I eat any hot dogs.
Hebrew National is water, beef, salt, and
okay,
and a couple of things I can't pronounce.
When you say beef, what do you mean? Because they can call any part of the cow beef.
I don't know, the ass of the cow.
There you go. Well,
knows?
it's like natural flavors. You know, when the soda companies put in natural flavors, you have no idea
it
what
always
they
drives
are.
me nuts, especially I get like the orange soda and it has this long list of things like natural flavors.
Yeah,
that's the
what
one
I'm
you
saying.
always migrate to. You're
If it
like,
doesn't
you know
have-
what? It can't be all that bad.
It's like health food.
yeah. If it's
Oh, yeah,
got
it makes it
50
healthy.
ingredients,
Boom.
don't eat it. If it's got 50 ingredients, don't eat it. 3 ingredients. We got to start eating like the Italians, our forefathers. When they came over, they had 3
Your
different...
forefathers.
They had any of the Middle East, any of these other cultures besides our own. Americans are terrible when it comes to food. We're all basically fat and stupid.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've been on a diet, so
Shakeology.
I'm just stupid now.
No, I didn't say that.
Not
I'm
fat
just saying
anymore.
most of Americans are. I mean, it's embarrassing. That's all I'm
They're
saying.
lackadaisical and looking for the simplest food.
Laziest.
The cheapest.
Yeah. And
Well,
again,
why do you think places like Whole Foods now are flourishing? I mean,
Because
you can't
people
even walk
getting
down the
smart.
aisle in that place. Have you guys ever been?
Oh, sure.
It's impossible.
A lot of places.
I heard
like
they're
that,
opening up a takeout place called Half Foods, actually.
Really? That would be nice.
Yeah.
Because I just want a organic. I get organic hot dogs, by the way. I do
Yeah, you
get
can
them.
get organic.
And those are good. Applegate. Have you ever heard of
Yes,
it?
absolutely.
They're expensive. I mean, it's
If you
like going
want
to
food,
Fenway
you got to
Park.
pay for it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
paying
it's
for
like
the
you pay
difference.
for it.
Yeah.
It's like
You
going
know,
to
you
Fenway
want
Park
food.
every time. But going back to this thing, and we're going to take a quick break. But I'm going to talk a little bit, and I want to talk about what you had said before about people believing the hype, believing things that they really can investigate or won't investigate. And my take on this is, and we'll talk about this after the break, is I think the generation now that is moving into power, which I think people in their 20s are a big culprit of this. But we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with Friends with Benefits, 95.9 WATD.
Hey, this is Ted Nugent celebrating the American dream on Friends with Benefits with my buddy Brian Stratton on 95.9 WATD.
The law office of Philip M. Markella is a full-service law firm with a focus on family and divorce law. When your marriage dissolves, Phil's office will help you navigate those often rough waters. They'll represent your interests with respect and compassion. The law office of Philip M. Markella also assists with estate planning, real estate transactions, and adoptions. Get in touch with the law office of Philip M. Markella, 19 Depot Street, Duxbury. Their telephone number, 781-934-7977, 781-934-7977, and on the web at markellalaw.com. That's MARKELLA law.com. Experience the Atlantis Sports Club difference. Atlantis Sports Club and Spas are located throughout Massachusetts, including locations in Braintree, Holbrook, and Hyannis, featuring state-of-the-art cardiovascular and strength training equipment, plus indoor and outdoor pools and full-service spas. Atlantis offers something for everyone. How about Zumba, spinning, and strength training classes, swim lessons for the kids, or a luxurious spa treatment? Your Atlantis membership allows access to all locations. Atlantis Braintree, located off the highway across from the South Shore Plaza, features beautiful indoor and outdoor pools. You'll find the newest Holbrook location next to Stop and Shop with plenty of parking and a spacious floor plan. Take a mini vacation at Atlantis Sports Club and Spa in Hyannis. Play golf, then relax by the resort-style pool. End the day with a relaxing treatment at the spa at Atlantis. Mention this ad and receive 20% off any spa treatment. Experience the Atlantis difference today. Visit AtlantisSportsClubs.com and book your tour today.
At CAM, we're proud to be your local appliance expert. Being the biggest independent appliance store in southeastern Mass means when you walk in, you can touch, try, and compare hundreds of appliances from all the major brands at prices ranging from $100 up to the appliance of your dreams. We guarantee delivery of all in-stock items within 3 business days, and in many cases, as soon as tomorrow.
Kelly here from Cam Appliance in Hanover. We all know how hard it can be to keep stainless steel appliances clean. Try an oil-based cleaner instead of water, and wipe with a microfiber cloth or just an old cotton t-shirt. Avoid switching back and forth with cleaners. This causes streaking. I find that it comes out best when I buff the cleaner on with a wax-on, wax-off motion first. Spray again, but this time wipe with the grain. Shazam! The oil will help protect against future fingerprints and make your stainless steel shine. Cam Appliance in Hanover, Hyannis, and Nantucket.
So experience CAM Appliances, a family-owned business.
My name is Chris Kelly, owner of Duxbury Motor Works, and I've been in the automotive service industry for about 20 years.
My name's Joe Dio. I'm partners with Chris at Duxbury Motor Works. People might know me as a former general manager of Green Automotive.
We are the dealer alternative.
It was an idea that Chris and I both had after working in the dealership environment. We want to be the friend in the business that everyone might say they have and feel comfortable, get your vehicle serviced by people that you can get to know and trust.
We fix everything at Duxbury Motor Works. If it has wheels and a motor, bring it to us.
We warranty everything that we do for 3 years, 36,000 miles. We do a full check over on every vehicle that comes in from stem to stern. We let you know what your vehicle is going to need now and also what might be coming up that we can see.
We help them prioritize in terms of what is important to do now for safety reasons and the things that can wait for budget concerns.
Duxbury Motorworks, 1474 Tremont Street in Duxbury, right at the corners of 3A and 139. Call us at 781-452-7471.
Hey, it's Brian Stratton, and I'd like to talk to you about Mamma Mia's restaurant. With 5 convenient locations around the South Shore, you don't have to drive far to enjoy delicious Italian cuisine, just the way you like it. Whether you're in Carver, Plymouth, Hanover, Kingston, or the new location in Green Harbor, Mamma Mia's is something to please any palate. Catering, gift cards, and takeout are available 7 days a week. Contact Mamma Mia's online at mamamias.net. That's mamamias.net.
Impressions Detailing of Duxbury is your #1 source for auto detailing on the South Shore. Owner Mike Ferreira and his staff have years of auto detailing experience. Located next to Jeeps and Buggies on 1474 Tremont Street of Duxbury, Impressions Detailing also provides window tinting and headlight restoration. They service sedans, small SUVs, and large SUVs or trucks. Contact Impressions Detailing at 781-934-2935 or by email at impressionsdetail@yahoo.com. That telephone number again, 781-934-2935. Impressions Detailing of Duxbury. Be a part of the show. 781-837-4900.
I'm going around the country. I'm trying to get as many people as I can not to get married. I promise never to get married. I've been married, and I'm just trying to help. Okay? So have you guys never been married? You never been married? What's your name? Michael? Well, Michael, if you ever think about getting married, if you ever think you've met the right woman, you want to settle down, change your life, will you do me a favor, Mike? Remember this face. Because if you get married, Mike, that's going to be your face everywhere. It's the face of every married man. He wakes up in the morning. It's the truth, man. He wakes up in the morning, he goes to the mirror, he looks in it and goes, "Ah! What did I do to my life? It's true, folks.
And the #1 reason your woman's always mad, fellas, the #1 reason your woman is pissed, because you ain't her first choice. Fellas, you ever catch your woman just looking at you, but not saying nothing? In her mind, she's thinking, how did I end up with this ugly mother? Oh, Lord, this mother ugly and stupid. I had a good man and I blew it. Damn, Lord, kill my man. Kill him, please. Kill him while I still look good enough to get something new. Please kill this mother. Now, strike him. Strike him. If you out there, Lord, strike this mother dead.
Friends with Benefits, 95.9 WATD. Nothing like a little smooth jazz from Chuck Mangione after a Chris Rock bit.
Feels so good.
This does not feel so good.
No.
This is give them all you got.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Chris Rock in that segues just perfectly, with that anger. And then a little smooth jazz after it.
It's like a nice dessert after a big meal. Yeah.
Kevin, everything's all right.
Everything's
with the
all
smooth
right.
jazz.
Smooth jazz hour on Friends with Benefits.
Something like that. I don't know what I was doing that day, but boy, that stuff must have been laced. Anyways, 95.9 WATD, Friends with Benefits. We got Paul Kearney from Atlanta Sports Club in studio. We got Hugh Barndollar from somewhere else.
Parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
Without that GPS.
And Kevin Chase, WATD's main guy. So listen, Paul Kearney, we were talking about this generation. We're And listen, by the way, if you have comments about the show or questions or just opinions, CTA Management at rocketmail.com. That's CTA Management at rocketmail.com. And if you have a question or comment, we're going to give you a Mamma Mia's gift certificate, $25 one to give away, and also a Burton's gift certificate, a $25 one to give away. We draw them out of a hat. But lately, with the celebrities, all the questions have been garnered around their life and their history and whatever. This show, if you have questions or opinions, just, reference in the subject title. It's this week's show. We'll call this one the Chicken Coop Show. Okay.
Chicken coops and hot dogs.
Chicken coops and hot dogs. Nice. The hot dog show. But once again now, we're going into people just kind of believing everything they hear. And, I think Facebook has a ton to do with this because I see a ton of posts on Facebook. I see a lot of things. I have a good amount of friends, and Paul can probably attest to this too. People always blur things out on a post, and I think sometimes a lot of it's exaggerated. Or, here's my Johnny. He's 10 years old. He won the spelling bee for the United States, and he sees this number one thing that looked like it was bought at the dollar store. And you know what I mean? He's got this crown that looks like they made out of paper mache in the laundry room.
Kind of like the best coffee in town thing. Where there's,
that's another thing. The best coffee in town. Mary Lou's.
Famous pizza.
Famous pizza.
Famous
is it
everywhere.
really famous?
Really?
Not in my household, it isn't.
Award-winning
I have a gluten
clam
allergy.
chowder.
Yeah.
Award-winning.
Boston's best.
But that goes down to what you were just talking about, like tradition and people that they just think they have to do something. That to me just bothers me the most. It's, we got to do this. Why? Because everybody else is doing it. If everybody's going this way, I want to go that way. I want to do the opposite what everybody's doing because I can't stand being in crowds to go nowhere. Hey, where are we going? We're all going to see something everybody else wants to see. Why? Can we see it tomorrow? Because no one's going to be here.
Well, I think the Facebook generation it started with college kids, the Facebook thing. I'd say for a solid 2 years, Facebook was predominant with college kids, and the old folks like us in their 40s were immersed in MySpace at the time, which I don't know if you guys had a MySpace. I don't know.
No,
it's big for musicians or actors or just people. It's similar to Facebook, but had actually.
And that was all like younger.
It was MySpace actually would go to older people too. It was because it was around a long time and it was the only thing before Facebook. Then Facebook comes in and it's kind of competing with MySpace, but the older
and there's now Twitter.
There's Twitter, which I haven't even, and none of us have gone to Twitter.
No,
and Twitter's kind of, over the top in a way for just the average person. But my point is, once older people got involved with MySpace, it's almost when Facebook came in, they didn't even want to learn how to get into Facebook. It was like, it just gives me a popsicle headache. I don't even want to look at it. I just figured out MySpace. It took me a year and a half. This is just too much. But once you got into Facebook, you could see that it had more variety. Like you can really reach out and write one thing and hit 500 friends.
I'm not on Facebook. You know why? I don't really want people to find me. So
Well, Hugh, we don't know where you live, Hugh.
That's right.
You're scary.
It's a total mystery.
Look for the chicken coop.
Chicken coop.
Yes, if you're driving down one of those side roads.
I wish Facebook would just have something that you want to blurt out to a couple of your friends, not everybody that's on there. That's kind of not even really your friend, but they emailed you and.
Well, that's what Google tried to do. And and Facebook kind of took this idea, but it didn't make it as big. The whole gimmick behind Google's Google Plus, which is their friend network thing, was that you can create circles.
Yeah, so I
let's
saw
say you
that,
only wanted to talk to the other people on the radio show. Great, so you say this is going out to that circle, and circles can overlap each other too. Right. And Facebook kind of set that up enough that it offset the Google thing, but unless you really know where all this stuff is hidden in Facebook.
Right.
You just don't know what's there.
To be quite honest with you, I mean, how long does it take? I mean, they build the software Facebook, and it really hasn't changed anything. Like, once you build a website, you're pretty much done. I mean, what are these people doing all day in these Facebooks and these Google offices?
Oh, constant tweaks.
Do they just email each other and just? I don't understand. There's really no net.
They take pictures of their food. No, wait, that's Twitter.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Because it's not like they're updating it all the time, or even some of these, like how it's sold for the amount of money that it's sold for. I don't see the benefit of it, because I own a business. We have Facebook pages on every one of my businesses. We don't pay any money. We don't buy any sponsorships. No one's calling me asking me to buy any sponsorship. So I don't know where they make any money.
There are ads in the top right corner asking. They say if you have a business account,
promote.
Actually, it shows you to promote.
Promote
so they
yourself.
want you to. Yeah, they want you to
could
spend
do
like
like
2
a
cents a
banner on
click
the
through
right.
or something.
Yes,
yeah.
a banner on the right.
Has anybody ever clicked on the banner on the right?
Oh, I
Almost
have.
never.
I have
Really?
actually.
Almost never.
Do you know what I've found on Facebook is concerts? Like it'll be like Kenny Loggins playing in Lowell on the right on a banner. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I'll click and get the details. So there is information.
Yeah, but if you use it, which I don't usually go to a computer, I usually use my phone, and none of them are on my phone.
What, the banners?
Unless it's a sponsored.
Oh, the
link
banners are
once.
tougher on the phone.
They're not on the phone.
It's more for the computer.
It's more for the computer.
Yeah, that's funny. And
Facebook started the thing, though, to try to make money on that, where basically if you pay attention to your news feed, so it shows your friend post, and then it shows you a sponsored post.
Yeah, I see that.
That's where they're getting money on the cell phones now, finally.
Right.
Because the banners can't load, so they have these fake sponsored
Well, it's
posts
like
that
a
they
post.
recommend.
It's on the
It comes
post
up as a
page.
post, exactly.
Right.
and so
So if you're not paying attention, you think a friend actually posted that.
the
Right.
good thing about Facebook is you know who's dead.
That's a good thing.
No, I'm just saying. And are you on
I've had it
Facebook?
happen to a couple people. Yeah, where
Well, it was announced on Facebook before the morgue even got there. It's like he's in the ambulance. He's dead.
No, I knew
Okay.
someone
Oh,
who,
it's on
yeah.
Facebook.
You know,
oh
he's
my
on the floor.
God.
he moved down to Florida, and I was only in touch with him through Facebook. And then finally someone posted that, and it's weird.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the minute I see like rest in peace, some like classic musician, I'm like, oh, well, he's dead. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
and
funny,
it wasn't
you're
on the
right.
news.
You're
it
right.
wasn't on the news.
It's like when in the bombings, the Boston.
Oh, the Boston
bombings.
Marathon. I
I was
saw
on
that
my
on Facebook.
Facebook all the time, just listening
Trying to go down
Yeah,
and
I was
figure
in
out everyone's
Florida.
okay,
we were
yeah.
we were away. We weren't even around here at the time, which was great because I didn't have to explain it to my kids. And but I would get all the information. I'd scroll it down just from people telling me, posting it, and even this radio station has a great. And if anybody out there wants
ATD
to,
is right on the.
they're on the board.
Oh,
I mean,
oh my
right
God.
from local stuff to traffic information.
Right.
I get all the stuff right from this, and that's the news that I want. I don't really care what's going on in California. I mean, because I'm not living there, but
Exactly. It's the stuff that actually impacts you on a
Yes.
daily basis.
Well, another thing is we were talking about the George Zimmerman trial, and I found on Facebook when he was acquitted of the charges, and it was a Saturday night. I was basically, believe it or not, I was at home. It was like 10:30 at night. Okay, and I see it on Facebook going, I can't believe this. And by the way, who knew that they would be making the decision at 10:30 on a Saturday night?
Oh, when they decide.
No-
They want to get out of there too. You
Well,
got to remember. not guilty. Yeah. Get out.
We gotta go.
Yeah,
We gotta
let's
go.
go.
Yeah.
Well,
10:30. I don't care.
You forget the jurors are in that room doing what they have to do because they do adjourn to the next day.
Yeah.
Jurors do.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? Something must have happened where it was really like that. I didn't even know on a Saturday that they would. You know what I mean? That they
Yeah,
could
no, they'll call
a
them in.
judge. At 10:30 at night. Go.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of your pajamas. You're coming down here
Right.
and making.
Get out of your pajamas, put your robe on.
Yeah, put your robe on. He's like, I was already in it.
He could still be wearing his pajamas.
Yeah, he walks around the house.
You
and
never
then-
know.
Yeah, you don't know what's under that robe. He's naked under there.
But like I said, that ruined my weekend when I saw that. I remember at 10:30.
The judge in his pajamas?
No, that actually helped my weekend. No,
Got the bunny slippers peeking out.
knowing that I'm not the only one, But anyways, I could just remember that was but that was because of Facebook. I wasn't watching the news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not at 10:30 on a Saturday.
I
No,
just
if
don't
you're
watch the
waiting,
news
it's
on
going to come up at
Saturday
11. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't waiting. The TV wasn't even on. I'm listening to music, and then you can do that. But so, anyways, getting back to I know we will get to that, but getting back to, I think it's that generation of the 20-somethings that believing everything they hear, not investigating hard enough, and it's kind of spilled over. All this technology, everything's so quick. They want fast answers, fast questions, and fast answers. You know what I mean?
And it seems like the answers they want are to the most stupidest things you ever heard. We play basketball, and I asked a kid, just something came up where.
Did I foul you? No.
No. It was
Okay.
more trust but verify. I mean, who said
Oh,
that?
Reagan.
Right. These kids, these are all going, I don't know who. I'm sorry, it wasn't a commercial. It really wasn't on a commercial. I don't know what it is. I mean, really? You don't know who said that?
I was thinking that the other day that, like 10, 15 years ago, it was good to know these random things. But now you spend so much time learning memes or learning something. So, you have like the pictures that someone making a goofy face and they have a writing or a phrase over it. It always becomes associated with, the smart guy or the dumb thing or whatever. So you have to learn these memes to be able to talk to people and communicate, because that's now the frame of reference, not like you were saying earlier, an I Love Lucy episode or anything like that from years ago, or even fairly recently. It's whatever the current thing is this week, and these burn out left and right.
Everything's all in bits and pieces now, and it's the sad thing is that, books are becoming essentially obsolete. Newspapers are becoming obsolete. It's pretty a sad state. Actually.
Well, Facebook's turning into the newspaper.
Right.
I think that was my point.
Yeah.
And like I said, who's producing the information on Facebook? Who knows?
Yeah, but you know what? And thank you for bringing this up, because this is a point that, the Globe sold for $770 million, and it was sold in '93 for $1.1 billion. It just goes to show that these reporters, they're just not doing their job. They're not... they're not coming up with anything interesting to report on. They all cheat off each other. They're just, if you ever watch the news, it's just one station after another doing the same story. Really? There's a billion people out there. You've got the same guy doing the same thing?
I always thought it'd be great to go back and be a weatherman on TV. That would be so fantastic, because you could do the 12 o'clock news and just watch the 6 o'clock news weather and just essentially do the same thing, because they all basically give you the same weather.
Right, they do.
What a breeze that job would be.
Right, and that's what, if I think John Henry buying the Boston Globe, I think he's a smart businessman, and I think he's going to have to really wake up the Globe. And I say that because my father's cousin was actually the president of the Boston Globe, John P. Gigio, and he started Globe Santa, and that's when the newspaper was the newspaper. Like the politicians were afraid of the newspaper because they'd ask them questions and make sure that they answer them. Sure. Now it's just like they just walk by you. I mean, I was reading about Senator Warren. She doesn't even take questions. She just pretends she's on the phone or hustles back. That's not the leader that I want to talk to. I want her to answer some questions. Otherwise, get out of office. What do I need you here for? Have closed door meetings?
Right. The problem is that the newspaper's job is to report the news, and the issue with that is that the news really doesn't sell at this point. And part of that is the bits and pieces mentality that we're involved in now with Facebook and as Kevin was saying, with the pictures and little blurbs and things that people sort of go on for about a week and then they just fall away into oblivion. And essentially, the news is becoming less and less and less important, and less and less and less of a sales.
Yeah. But it's not news, though. It's not news. I mean, really, honestly, I don't care about the king and queen baby.
No, I agree with that one. That was insufferable.
Like
that was insufferable.
It's embarrassing.
God, it's not even in this country.
No.
You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with this country.
And guess what? Knock, knock. We don't honor kings and queens here. No. We don't believe in that crap.
And I don't believe in it either.
Right.
I
think
it's
their baby
crazy.
George, and they all sit around, and our media goes crazy over, and there's real true stories out there. That
they're making it into something because they need to generate some interest.
Yeah. Couldn't they have thought of a better name too? Something more interesting than they say, bring the same names back in over and over.
Boy George?
How about King Hugh? King Hugh would be a good one.
Hugh Barnhouse, yeah. Listen, we're going to shift.
Dollar.
Sorry, Hugh. So we're going to shift directions here because we have, just a small amount of time in this segment. But, Hugh and I were talking before the show, and I've gotten countless emails about asking these kind of questions, and I'm always wondering what other people think. Secrets in relationships. How about that? Secrets between men and women, between husbands and wives, between engaged couples, between boyfriends and girlfriends. I brought up the premise that this has really been initiated by an email, but Hugh has brought some things up. Thinking about what do you?
Relationships are built on trust, love, friendship, intimacy, respect, and we were just wondering what were some of the things that whittle those factors away. So. What secrets are okay to keep in a relationship, and what secrets, or what is not okay to keep secret in a relationship? What kinds of things are out there?
Can I start?
Go start.
Well, looking on the email, I noticed, I couldn't help but notice, there's a situation where there's a guy and a girl that have been together for a year and a half, and the girl was really annoyed by the guy because he had secret girls in his life, like not secret. Like he says who they are, but she doesn't know them. And they're in a committed relationship. They live together, whatever. And he's like, it gets texts at 10:30 at night from Julia. And she doesn't even know because the guy won't show the phone. And it's just kind of like Really, if you guys love each other or whatever, you're committed to each other. What are you guys thinking about that kind of stuff? I mean, I think it's wrong. I think you should be able to kind of share. I mean, you should be able to leave your cell phone there and have the other one pick it up and look through texts, or not even look through texts, but just make a phone call or make a text and not have to be horrified by what you see.
Should you be completely honest about everything in a relationship, or are there some things that should be kept secret or are okay to keep secret in a relationship?
I don't know. Ask Tiger Woods when he was texting.
Yeah, see,
I mean,
but you know what? That would have saved a lot of years off of that poor woman's life and a lot of pain. If she
And
had
his car.
if she was, and his car,
And his career.
he's actually making a pretty good comeback lately, though.
Yeah, good for him. But
Yeah.
on the golf course, he's still, he's still a knucklehead in my mind. I
Right.
mean, he's rehabilitated. Good for him. But do I really know he has?
Right.
I don't know what he's doing off the course. I don't know.
And if you were dating him, would you check his text?
Oh, exactly. I mean, he has a track record now.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess.
which phone?
Is it okay for a significant other to check your texts?
And I would say yes. Being married, I mean,
would say
I
it
have no
depends on-
problem with my
Kevin,
wife.
let's say
It
Kevin.
depends on the motivation. I mean, if I was with someone who just constantly had to check my text,
Not every day.
and that's but exactly. But
What
there's
about
the
random-
line right
What
there.
about the random check? It's that station ID that they do on TV.
You gotta check once an hour.
It happens
Oh, the EAS,
randomly.
yeah.
Right. This is only a test. Well,
Emergency broadcast.
This text check is only a test.
And honestly,
of my emergency paranoia.
If
system.
you're in a relationship where you feel like you're that paranoid, you shouldn't be in that relationship, because you just said it. You just hit it on there. Trust is the number one thing. And if your relationship starts, if you don't trust each other, then you're not even in a relationship.
But you're not even. You're. That's different. That's a side issue. How about just being able to pick up the phone of your girlfriend or
Significant other,
significant
yeah,
other
yeah.
and be able to say your phone died,
Right.
and you need to make a text,
Right.
And just as you send the text, you just kind of scroll, just just
Random
randomly.
curiosity.
Why
You
not?
should be able to, yeah.
It's like, oh, who she talked to today? Not accusingly,
Right.
But can you do that idly, and that's okay? Is that all right?
Actually, to be honest with you, that's once in a while I'll pick up my wife's phone and I'll just, I won't even, I'm not worried about it.
Whose name are you worried
But
about?
if
on
I
there?
see Brian Stratton on there 15 times, I'm going to be worried.
Well, I'm glad she erases them every time I text her. But Hugh's jumping at the bit over here.
I think that the whole nature of actually checking somebody's texts is more duplicitous than technically having somebody on there that you wouldn't want somebody to check. But it is a symptom of a relationship gone awry.
Right.
So.
Right. That if you need to check your girl or your guy's emails or texts, and then there's no relationship there.
But okay. With that being said, though, I'm playing devil's advocate, taking the need structure out of the whole equation. How about, should you be allowed to? Should it be not a sense of, what's the word, volatility, or like should you be able to pick it up every once in a while?
The random text check. It's like the baseball, the random drug
It's
check.
not even a check. It's
No,
like,
it's just
say you're making a phone call and you said
Like
you do
I
it.
said,
You said you do it.
I do it.
randomly.
You know what?
Every once in a while.
I got to be honest with you. I don't do it because I don't trust her. I just do it because I pick up the phone and I just I just check it, like
Curiosity.
Curiosity. Be honest with you, and I don't think that's a problem.
Now, does she have a problem with it? Like,
No, I
what-
wouldn't. If she did, then that'd be a problem.
Right. Okay. Now, Hugh, same
Same with
question. Would
her.
you? Would your significant, if are you able to do that? Do you have that?
Absolutely. There's nothing to hide.
Okay. Right.
And in fact, even share passwords on computers and emails and things like that. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you're really in deep, huh? How about you, Kevin?
Yeah.
How about you, Joe? How do you feel about this subject?
Oh, I mean, with us, it's an open book. I mean, I have checked her phone. Like, what is she texting this person about all the time?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
that's one thing that gets me.
But
If I'm
it
trying to have a
annoys you.
conversation and she's over there with
Right.
this person,
Yeah, who is
I'm
that
like,
person?
why am I competing?
And then you look
maybe
at
it's a
she's
hint of
talking about
jealousy there. Yeah.
She's talking about the yarn barn.
Yeah, like
Is
cake
that right?
recipes or something. Like,
Oh.
I hope I get a nice cake later.
Yeah, yeah, but still, actually, it probably hurts even more because it's like she's
Inanities.
texting this nonsense.
Yeah,
and not
oh,
paying
yeah.
attention to me.
And I'm trying to talk about my awesome time on Friends with Benefits,
I
and
know.
she's
talking about the yarn barn with her friend
Mm.
who's knitting, crocheting or whatever. but it's an open book. See, and I think ultimately, I don't see if somebody's that protective of their cell phone.
Right. Then there's a problem.
exactly.
There's a huge-
Symptomatic of a problem.
But I still think if you're in a point where you're committed with somebody, you've been with them a couple of years, you have the right. I mean, and I've seen a couple of emails where from listeners that have brought these kind of things up, like, you know, even just like a trace of phone calls. You know, there's a history.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, I want to see who he's talking to or she's talking to.
Or on the computer, checking what sites they're checking out.
Well, that's true too. I've never got any of those emails, but
HughBarnDollar.com.
yes,
Right.
God, don't look.
Don't be chicken.
Don't look. Don't look at the robe. But, you know, so I'd like to get some people at CTA Management at rocketmail.com. C as in Charlie, T as in Tom, A as in Apple, rocketmail.com. CTA Management at Rocketmail. Give us your opinion about this, because I mostly have complaining when I see this. I want to hear from people from both sides of the ledger that have those situations like Hugh and Paul and Kevin, and they have an open book, and people that have situations where the boyfriend or girlfriend is just very protective.
Right, or paranoid, or was in a relationship that was bad. It doesn't mean that you're going to be in a bad relationship all the time. It doesn't mean that every guy's a cheater.
Well, some guys, you know, what is it called? Sexting. They sext.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They don't, and it's no big deal. They're not going to do anything, but they do it.
Right. But
it's not okay. It's
no,
bad.
it's definitely not.
It's
okay.
bad.
Right.
But anyways, we got to go to commercial break. We'll head off. We'll take off foot on that. You're listening to 95.9 WATD, Friends with Benefits.
Hi, this is Don Felder, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and Mr. Hotel California. You're listening to Brian Stratton on Friends with Benefits on 95.9 WATD.
Hey, it's Brian Stratton, and I'd like to talk to you about Mamma Mia's restaurant. With 5 convenient locations around the South Shore, you don't have to drive far to enjoy delicious Italian cuisine, just the way you like it. Whether you're in Carver, Plymouth, Hanover, Kingston, or the new location in Green Harbor, Mamma Mia's is something to please any palate. Catering, gift cards, and takeout are available 7 days a week. Contact Mamma Mia's online at mamamias.net. That's mamamias.net.
Experience the Atlantis Sports Club difference. Atlantis Sports Club and Spas are located throughout Massachusetts, including locations in Braintree, Holbrook, and Hyannis, featuring state-of-the-art cardiovascular and strength training equipment, plus indoor and outdoor pools and full-service spas. Atlantis offers something for everyone. How about Zumba, spinning, and strength training classes, swim lessons for the kids, or a luxurious spa treatment? Your Atlantis membership allows access to all locations. Atlantis Braintree, located off the highway across from the South Shore Plaza, features beautiful indoor and outdoor pools. You'll find the newest Holbrook location next to Stop and Shop with plenty of parking and a spacious floor plan. Take a mini vacation at Atlantis Sports Club and Spa in Hyannis. Play golf, then relax by the resort-style pool. End the day with a relaxing treatment at the spa at Atlantis. Mention this ad and receive 20% off any spa treatment. Experience the Atlantis difference today. Visit AtlantisSportsClubs.com and book your tour today. The law office of Philip M. Markella is a full-service law firm with a focus on family and divorce law. When your marriage dissolves, Phil's office will help you navigate those often rough waters. They'll represent your interests with respect and compassion. The law office of Philip M. Markella also assists with estate planning, real estate transactions, and adoptions. Get in touch with the law office of Philip M. Markella, 19 Depot Street, Duxbury. Their telephone number, 781-934-7977, 781-934-7977, and on the web at markellalaw.com. That's MARKELLA law.com.
My name is Chris Kelly, owner of Duxbury Motor Works, and I've been in the automotive service industry for about 20 years.
My name's Joe Dio. I'm partners with Chris at Duxbury Motor Works. People might know me as the former general manager of Green Automotive.
We are the dealer alternative.
It was an idea that Chris and I both had after working in the dealership environment. We want to be the friend in the business that everyone might say they have and feel comfortable, get your vehicle serviced by people that you can get to know and trust.
We fix everything at Duxbury Motor Works. If it has wheels and a motor, bring it to us.
We warranty everything that we do for 3 years, 36,000 miles. We do a full check over on every vehicle that comes in from stem to stern. We let you know what your vehicle is going to need now and also what might be coming up that we can see.
We help them prioritize in terms of what is important to do now for safety reasons and the things that can wait for budget concerns.
Duxbury Motor Works, 1474 Tremont Street in Duxbury, right at the corners of 3A and 139. Call us at 781-452-7471.
At CAM, we're proud to be your local appliance expert. Being the biggest independent appliance store in southeastern Mass means when you walk in, you can touch, try, and compare hundreds of appliances from all the major brands at prices ranging from $100 up to the appliance of your dreams. We guarantee delivery of all in-stock items within 3 business days, and in many cases, as soon as tomorrow.
Kelly here from Cam Appliance in Hanover. We all know how hard it can be to keep stainless steel appliances clean. Try an oil-based cleaner instead of water, and wipe with a microfiber cloth or just an old cotton t-shirt. Avoid switching back and forth with cleaners. This causes streaking. I find that it comes out best when I buff the cleaner on with a wax-on, wax-off motion first. Spray again, but this time wipe with the grain. Shazam! The oil will help protect against future fingerprints and make your stainless steel shine. Cam Appliance in Hanover, Hyannis, and Nantucket.
So experience CAM Appliances, a family-owned business.
Friends with Benefits will return on 95.9 WATD.
Giggity, giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
All right, we're back here. Friends with Benefits, 95.9 WATD. What a great show. I want to thank Paul from Atlantis Sports Clubs.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Always fun.
Kevin Chase, of course, behind.
Yowza.
And we got Hugh Barndollar.
Thanks for having me, Brian. Back to the farm.
Listen, if you have any opinions about anything we have talked about, CTA Management at rocketmail.com. That's simple. CTA Management at rocketmail.com. And we want to hear about the relationship thing that we just talked about. We might even get into that next week about the secrets in between men and women, married or not married, committed. You know, we want to get into that, right?
We do want to get into that.
Yeah, so, and Lorenzo Lamas
We're not going to
wants
keep it a
hear
secret.
No, it's out there. So anyways, you know what? That's it for the show.